She hugged me and said, Happy New Year, and I will see you in the morning.
Sheriff's Office Emergency.
Hi, you guys have been out to my house twice today, and then most recently the deputy talked my wife into letting me in the house, and then she locked me in the garage and tried to break my arm when I was trying to get back inside.
This is a case that haunted Florida for more than 3 decades. A young mother brutally murdered on New Year's Eve.
Sheriff's Office Emergency. Hi, can I have a police officer come to my house? 6184.
Okay, what's going on?
My husband pushed me up against the wall and threw me on the floor.
Okay. Does anyone have any weapons?
No, there's none in my house.
And what's your first and last name?
Coon. But I don't want him to take my daughter.
Okay, give me one moment so I can have my deputies on the way, okay? Don't hang up.
Her killer slipping into the shadows. For 35 years, her family lived without answers.
My wife has locked all the doors and said I'm not allowed to come in. So I'm outside with my daughter screaming because she wants to go inside and I can't.
Okay, what's your...
Yeah, y'all have already been out here once today.
Yeah, and you said that now your wife is not allowing you to come outside?
Come inside, yeah.
Come inside the home?
Yeah.
Okay. Isn't there like another child home as well?
Yeah,
Right?
my 4-year-old's inside. She said he's napping, and my 12-year-old stepdaughter is inside.
But thanks to modern science and relentless investigators, the truth finally surfaced, and Bodycam footage captured the very moment the prime suspect was confronted.
Hey, good. How are you doing? I'm Officer Earhart with the Pensacola Police Department. Do you have your license on you by any chance?
The man standing on the side of the road is 57-year-old Daniel Wells. To him, this stop seems like a routine traffic encounter. But to police, this is the end of a 35-year hunt. For weeks, the Pensacola Police Department have been quietly following his every move.
They've avoided this day for 35 years. You have 2 options. Either you're going to straight into this day coming, 35 years, you're wondering when you're going to get that knock at your door.
And now it was time to strike. The man standing on the side of the road is 57-year-old Daniel Wells. To him, this stop seems like a routine traffic encounter. But to police, this is the end of a 35-year hunt.
I have irrefutable evidence that I'm not doing all this on a guess. I'm not doing all this on a hunch.
Yeah.
So,
For weeks, the Pensacola Police Department have been quietly following his every move. And now, it was time to strike. The story begins on New Year's Eve, 1984.
Hey, Miss Wills,
Yes,
how you doing? Miss Wills, you're going to have to come with us. We're going to be bringing you down to the police station and have a conversation. These 2 officers will be taking you down there. Okay, right. Sir, we'll discuss it when we get down there, but you're going to have to get into the car with them. Can you get your keys for you? Yeah. I'll get your keys for you.
23-year-old Tanya McKinley wanted nothing more than a carefree night out. A single mother raising her baby boy, Timothy.
Well, New Year's Eve, going from 1984 to 1985, to know what you're doing that night. What would you normally have done on the New Year's Eve during that time frame?
Maybe go out to Kevin's little fire or something like that on the beach.
Like to go out to the beach? Is that where you normally hang out at? What bars? I mean, you worked at Chan's,
Right.
but you did culinary. Would you ever go to the bars?
Not very often.
Gregory or on Davis?
Tanya rarely had time for herself. That night, she joined friends at Daryl's Bar, a local hotspot. She laughed, she danced.
If you went out, you would go to
Beach.
McCann's. There was the hotel at Daryl's. There's one, but they were all kind of on the backside of the university. Do you remember a third one back there? Remember Daryl's and Shan's.
I don't remember Daryl's.
Remember Daryl's? They're in the very back there.
Remember Bennigan's.
Bennigan's is the other place that's back there.
This struck as something odd.
And for a few short hours, she enjoyed the simple joy of being young and free. But Tanya would never make it home. Hours later, passersby stumbled upon a horrifying scene. Her body was discovered on the side of the road, 7 miles from the bar. She had been strangled, beaten, and discarded. Her shoes, her purse, and a blood-stained towel were left scattered like cruel evidence of the violence she endured. For investigators, the discovery was devastating. Tanya was loved in her community, and her son Timothy, just 18 months old, was now motherless. Detectives focused first on Tim Davidson, Tanya's boyfriend and father of her child. He was abusive and controlling. Witnesses described violent incidents. Davidson had once thrown Tanya out while she was pregnant, and on another occasion, he allegedly tried to run her over. But when Davidson's DNA was tested, he was ruled out, and with no other clear suspects, the case grew cold. Then came a revolution in forensic science, genetic genealogy. With it, investigators could use crime scene DNA to build family trees and pinpoint possible suspects. When Tanya's case was reopened in 2020, this technology led them to one man, Daniel Wells. But suspicion wasn't enough. Police needed absolute proof, so they followed him, patiently, silently. Then one morning, when Wells tossed out a cigarette, but detectives seized it. In the lab, the DNA from that cigarette matched perfectly with evidence taken from Tanya's body back in 1985. The odds of error? 1 in 700 billion. Daniel Wells was their man. When officers pulled Wells over on March 18, 2020, he had no idea this was the moment everything would collapse. Calmly, officers told him he'd need to come with them for questioning. Inside the station, detectives began carefully. They asked him about old addresses about Pensacola in the mid-'80s and about his memories of New Year's Eve 1985. Wells denied everything. He claimed he didn't know Tanya. He claimed he never went to Daryl's bar. Bodycam audio, use clip here. Detective, so in the mid-'80s, do you know a girl named Tanya McKinley? Wells, no. Doesn't ring a bell. Narrator, but detectives weren't fooled. They knew his DNA was at the scene, and eventually they told him. At first, Wells laughed it off. He said maybe he had a random one-night stand and forgot. He said the police must have made a mistake. But as detectives pressed harder, his story unraveled. They reminded him of something more personal, his son, Morgan. They told him that unless he explained himself, his son would forever believe he was nothing more than a cold-blooded killer. Slowly, painfully, the mask cracked. Wells finally admitted he was with Tanya that night. He confessed they had sex. But when Tanya wanted to leave, when she told him no, his temper flared. He struck her with a wooden cutting board, strangled her, and even violated her again after she lost consciousness. He then dumped her lifeless body along Peacock Drive, discarding her like trash. After 35 years, the truth was out. For detectives, it was a mix of relief and horror. They had finally solved Tanya's murder, but the confession revealed a cruelty that few could stomach. When investigators called Tanya's son Timothy to share the news, his reaction said everything. Relief, shock, and grief crashed together. For the first time since 1985, Timothy finally knew who had taken his mother from him. Daniel Wells was charged with first-degree murder and sexual battery. But before he could face a jury, he took his own life in his jail cell just weeks later. Justice was delivered, but closure remained complicated. For Timothy, for Tanya's family, and for a community that never forgot her name, this case proves that time does not erase justice. 35 years later, science, persistence, and determination finally revealed the truth. If this case disturbed you, you'll want to see the story of another chilling crime, the evil wife who almost got away with murder. Click now to watch, and do not forget to subscribe for more true crime investigations that uncover the darkest corners of human behavior.